Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page. Simon and I talk a little tennis. Privileged today to have the director of tennis from Golden Ocala Golf Tennis and Equestrian Club. I'll get you in trouble if I keep saying that.
You eventually will get into trouble.
I'll just back it off. Just say that our buddy Thiroshan Chetty is here. He's the director of tennis at Golden Ocala Golf and Country Club. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Beautiful afternoon, and what a great way to spend it with you guys right here.
Bit of a hoops fan you are. We're talking during the break. You got a little passion about that game last night.
I'm going to go on record and say it's a three-peat for the Heat this year, and that's going to be the end of the story.
You're loving you some LeBron, huh?
Oh, Miami, Spoelstra, Pat Riley era.
Yeah,
I love LeBron and Wade, you know?
Yeah. You know, Spoelstra just doesn't get the credit, and he probably never will.
I don't think he ever will, because in the games that he does win, you know, everybody thinks it's LeBron and Wade. And the games he loses, it's his fault. So
yeah, and it's like when Pat Riley coached the Lakers, and they had Kareem and Magic and that bunch. They said all he's got to do is roll the basketball out on the court to win. No, you have to manage the egos. You know, the egos are there.
The cool thing about Spoelstra, started as the video guy for the Heat.
Yeah. Well, it happens to a lot of guys.
I started the league.
So did Vogel.
Yeah, Vogel was the video guy.
Yeah. I guess maybe we want to start working on video. Maybe that's a little better deal there, you know, for those kind of salaries. Well, it's good to have you. You were telling me something during the break, Thiroshan, that Ocala has got some really good tennis players around here, and you obviously work with some, and we don't keep up as much with tennis as we do golf for some reason. I don't know why, but I know there's teams, there's people that play the game and play it well. Talk about some of the players that you work with over the years that you know you played around this area.
Yeah, you know, first of all, I mean, Ocala is definitely overlooked with regards to, you know, tennis talent. You know, there's definitely a rich heritage here in you know, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and just learning about it is pretty incredible. But the current state of tennis in Ocala is just absolutely at an ultimate high. You know, you got tons of people playing. At Golden Ocala, we've got a bunch of awesome juniors. I've worked with a few up and coming and just tennis-rich juniors. A kid by the name of Corey Forrest, who was Ocala's #1 junior for 2 or 3 years. I've worked with a girl by the name of Maria McKay, who was top 10 in the nation. So definitely a rich talent pool here in Ocala. For such a small town, we definitely have some up-and-coming rising stars.
We were having a conversation before, and we were talking about the early 70s back in the era, and I remember it well, when golf was popular. Nicklaus was at the top of his game. He was a dominant player. There were Watson, other guys, Trevino. But tennis was really popular. You know, obviously, we had those great matches going on in Wimbledon. And at one point, really, golf and tennis were neck and neck in popularity. And then golf kind of took off, and tennis didn't, although it did well, it didn't thrive as much. Why do you think that happened?
You know, you have personalities on the golf course or the tennis court that attract people to it. You know, you have the Tiger effect for the longest time. And we see the effect that Tiger has on people who are not interested in golf and how he draws them and pulls them. And we had this Sampras Agassi magnetic approach for a while, where they just drew everybody, and it was amazing.
Before them, you had McEnroe and that bunch too.
And you had McEnroe, Connors, you know, you had Borg. So it was so exciting. And after the Agassi-Sampras era faded out, you now have the Federer-Nadal rivalry going on, Djokovic, and you know, and people are attracted to that. So, and that's what sports is all about. It's about rivalries. It's about who are we going to follow? What makes it so fun? And these personalities are incredibly important to the game.
You know, your young players, they reflect the personalities of the players who are the stars they watch. I mean, you'll always see someone who's going to mimic a LeBron in basketball, whatever. In tennis, you teach a lot of youngsters. Is there any player that the girls or boys emulate that are professional players that you see?
Yeah, on the female side, a lot of the younger girls are looking to emulate a Maria Sharapova or Serena. I mean, they just in awe of their power. They're in all of their strokes and their production of it, you know. So those are the kind of plays. But also, you know, they are such huge fashion statements today. I mean, just kids are attracted to that. On the guy's side, you cannot hide from Roger Federer and his skill set and the grace that he plays the game with. So a lot of the guys love to copy his forehand and his amazing backhand. But, Djokovic, I said a few players, but definitely Federer, I would say, is on the top of the hill.
Is it a bad thing, buddy, that my guy that I patterned myself after when I was learning tennis 40 years ago was Eli Nastasi? Is that a bad thing?
It was a bad boy, that's for sure. First time I ever saw a tennis match I saw play was Rod Laver. I saw him play back in Exhibition.
What an amazing style.
Yeah, and the redheaded guy he was. I got a chance to see him play it early. And then we've had obviously some great female stars, over the years. But like you say, it's like you mentioned Tiger. U.S. tennis needs a tiger, and of course, tigers are hard to come by. But that kind of player who goes and dominates and wins and has that 100-mile-an-hour serve, and can play at the baseline and go to the net, whatever. It's just.
That's exactly it. I mean, U.S. tennis is struggling right now because there's no Agassi, there's no Sampras. We need that Tiger effect, and we're just hoping that guy or girl arrives. I mean, I think Serena and Venus had that effect for a while, and they're kind of fading out right now, focusing on the business aspects of their life. But on the men's side, we need that player who's going to pull kids, from left, right, and center from different sports to come into tennis, and we'll wait for that day.
We thought Andy Roddick was going to be it. He wasn't it. We thought James Blake would be it. He didn't end up being it. Are there any up-and-comers that you see in the junior ranks at 14, 15, 16 that you hear about that could be that person?
It's difficult to say because just when you place a target on a particular player, they fade out. Just like Andy Roddick, so many people had their hopes pinned on him. And, he won one title and he faded out. So it's so difficult to really pinpoint it until they come through the ranks and prove themselves, and then hopefully keep people's hopes up and alive and well.
Our guest is Thiroshan Chetty. He's the director of tennis at Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. And if you were going to handpick one or two of I don't want to put pressure on your students, but let's say there were 2 or 3 out there, you said, okay, I'm going to get my best. And I'm going to go across town, I'm going to play Buddy's best. I'm going to get my best. We're going to go head-to-head to match. And you wanted some players you felt like they're on their way up, you could count on. Which players would you handpick from your group of kids that you're working with right now?
In terms of age and
just say young 15, 16, 17-year-old competitive kids who were juniors, advanced juniors who could compete at that level.
We have a 6-year-old right now.
6 years old.
6-year-old.
Wow.
That has the ingredients and the chemistry to be unbelievably awesome.
I'm almost afraid to say her name because I don't want her to say her, right?
It's a young man.
It's a man. Okay.
His name is Ethan Laird.
Ethan Laird. You heard it first. Here it is, 5/25 on the 21st of May, 2014, and we've heard the name of Ethan
Laird.
Okay,
it's written down here.
Absolutely.
Now you said it. Okay,
and not to discount his older brother, who's 9 years old.
Yeah, what's his name?
He is Ty Laird.
Okay.
Ty Laird, yeah.
Obviously, the Laird folks like tennis.
They do, and we also have another young lady, Madison. Madison is unbelievable 7-year-old.
7-year-old.
Yeah, she is just.
Well, how do you know at 6 and 7 that they're that good?
Not only is there physical ability there, where they can hit the ball, 10, 15 times over the net without missing, but we're looking for those qualities, those intangible qualities that, hey, once the lesson is done, what are they doing? They're grabbing the ball. They're hitting against the fence. They want to play more. That hunger is there. That determination is there without anybody pushing them. And these are the qualities that you're looking for. And when you do find it, you actually grab them and you're like, I need to work with these kids.
So now you're a teacher, and a gift to you is getting a young person like this. How excited do you get when you see somebody thinking, this kid could be something special?
It's rare that we find that, but especially for me, coming from South Africa and not having any facilities and not having any coaching, and to find a kid that appreciates what's happening after school when they go to the tennis courts, that they have tennis courts available, that there's lessons available, to have a kid appreciate that and want more and have that hunger is rare. So when I do find it, I try to grab that kid and work with them and try to hone on their skills.
Of course, you have to be real careful. Obviously, I want to tell you not to give them too much,
Absolutely.
right? Not to burn them out at an early age.
Yes.
So how do you mix that and match that so that they get motivated, they want to play, but you don't give them too much?
It's important to know where the line is. We have to know that they're kids and what kids like. And sometimes it's a psychology effect, a reverse psychology, where we don't give them any. Because kids, just like adults, we want things we cannot have. And to play with a 6-year-old kid that's supposed to have a 30-minute lesson and only give him 5 or 10 minutes is a reverse cycle, because they now want to go and play on their own. They want to play with their friends. It's now fun and exciting. But the bottom line is we treat them as kids first and tennis players second.
So important. Today, you see all these things happening now with kids. They're going to camp at 8, 9, 10. They're going to summer camp. They're playing AAU basketball all summer long. It's such a shame to see kids get to 15, 16, 17 and be burnt out on the sport, isn't it?
Absolutely. We see it every day. Every single day where parents live vicariously through their kids. And, it pushes them away, so.
Thiroshan, give us a number if people are interested in taking tennis lessons, want to know more, where they can reach you, if that's possible, and how they can contact you, and they want to know more about the Golden Ocala.
Absolutely. Visit us on our website at goldenocala.com, and our telephone number is 352-402-4351. We have a ton of amazing summer programming going on.
So you have clinics and things like that as well? So.
Yes. We have kids clinics, we have adults clinics, and lots of awesome tennis.
Great.
Thiroshan, before we let you get out of here, the French Open is coming up. Give us your pick for the French Open.
I'm going to be biased, and although he's not going to do too well, I'm going to go with Sir Roger Federer.
Still got it, huh? You think Federer still got it, huh?
He's done such amazing things for tennis, and I'm hoping he gets one more before he retires.
Yeah, I would too. I just hope he'll just keep interested long enough, because he's been a great player for the game, without question. Thiroshan, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Guys, I had fun. Thanks for having me.
All right, Thiroshan Chetty from Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club.